I didn't flip the screen. I'm flipping it now. I always make that mistake. Oh, it's been a while. All right, here's the intro. Actually, I'm going to start it over. Sorry about that. There you go. Microphone check 1 2. Yo, check it out. Guys, what's going on? Welcome to hashtag TNT Joe 5. Tech news that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. I am your host, Jerome Ortega. I don't know if any of you were on right at the beginning when I didn't put the intro on and it was just me instead. And then I caught it pretty early, so still felt stupid. Anyway, guys, welcome. What's going on? Good afternoon to people here in the US. Good morning, good evening to everyone else all around the world. How's it going? Happy Friday, TGIF. Do you guys have any special plans for the weekend? Anything exciting going on? I do not. I don't think I have really anything special going on. What else? It's been a busy week for me, a very busy week. I am just as behind in work as I was last week, if not more so. But I keep thinking I'm going to catch up with work and I never do. And I need a day off for sure. Anyway, let me get into chat here. Brian is in here, TGIF fam, TNT Joe 5. What's going on, Brian? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Team Varai is in here as well. Hey, Team Varai, what's going on, man? Some people are questioning OnePlus's new direction with the new phones, but as a budget device guy, the Clover is interesting to see. I'm interested in it in a way, but we'll get into it. I have a few thoughts on it, but I always have a few thoughts when it comes to this stuff. Sorry, I'm not sponsored by Coke Zero, but I'm thirsty. Juan Carlos is in here on time. What's going on, Juan Carlos? Montez, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Six is in here as well. Yo, fam, what's going on, Six? How you doing, man? Welcome. And Hamed is in here as well. Hey, Hamed. How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get started. Let's talk about this OnePlus Clover. This is the first time I've heard of this phone. This is the first time I've seen anything when it comes to it. I don't know if anyone's really talked about a budget phone coming out for the OnePlus. I mean, I think people were talking about a cheaper phone from OnePlus. Did they talk about a phone that was cheaper than the Nord? But I don't know. I thought they did. I thought they were talking about maybe releasing something that was going to be cheaper than the Nord, but I didn't expect something this much cheaper. But we'll get into it. So this article from Android Central says OnePlus Clover specs, 720p display, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and a 6,000 milliamp hour battery. So when we talk about a $200 phone, I don't think much of it. I don't really find these sub $300 phones exciting, sub $250. But when OnePlus wants to put their hat, in the game or whatever the wording is said, it makes me, perk up a bit. I'm like, okay, well, so what is this about? So we'll get into it. OnePlus is turning its attention to the entry-level segment with Clover. OnePlus is all set to release its first entry-level phone, codenamed Clover. The phone is a stark departure. Sorry, my phone's going off. Let me silence that real quick. There we go. The phone is a stark departure for the company, which has thus far focused on offering devices with class-leading performance. The device, codenamed Clover, is powered by a Snapdragon 460. One more time, a Snapdragon 460. This isn't a 600 series chipset that you find in the TCL 10 Pro. It's not the 700 series that you're finding in the Pixel 4a or the 4a 5G or the OnePlus Nord. This is a Snapdragon 400 series chipset, but we're going to get into that. So it comes with 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. It has a micro SD slot, a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and a large 6.52 inch HD plus LCD screen. The one thing that really confuses me, and is going to confuse me for a long time, is the fact that these mid-range, budget, entry-level phones, they're the ones that come with a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. They're the ones that come with a micro SD slot. Why, what is the hang up about giving us a micro SD slot on a higher end device? Is it because they're only giving 64 gigs of internal storage? So they're going to add a micro SD slot? I just don't understand. If we're paying $1,000 for a device, why can't we get a micro SD slot? I guess I will always be confused about something like this. It's like I don't know how to even analogize that. Analogize, is that a word? I was gonna say it's like buying a budget car and then they give you a CD player in that car, but new cars don't have CD players. But the older car will still have Bluetooth. I don't know. That's not even a proper. Okay. So you also get a traditional fingerprint sensor at the back and a 6,000 milliamp hour battery with 18 watt fast charging. 6,000 milliamp hour? Why is this battery so disgustingly huge for a $200 phone? Why is this their? I think MKBHD is the one that said something like this, where companies will pick one thing to make it stand out. Is this OnePlus's standout feature of a $200 phone is a 6,000 milliamp hour battery? Why is 6,000 milliamp hour battery here and not on something else? Why a micro SD slot here and not on something else? I'm forever going to be confused about their decisions with some of this stuff. Here's the full list of specs on offer with OnePlus's first entry-level phone. It's going to have Android 10, Oxygen OS 10, again, a HD plus IPS LCD display, a Snap 460, again, a 460, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of internal storage, a micro SD slot for expandable storage, a triple rear camera setup, a rear fingerprint reader, a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and a 6,000 milliamp hour battery. You obviously don't find water resistance or wireless charging here, but the hardware does seem decent for $200, which is where the device is set to slot in. OnePlus will launch the Clover in global markets, and it'll also make its debut in the US, unlike the Nord. We'll have more details on the Clover in the coming weeks. But if you're interested in learning about the device, we have you covered. What? You would think by that means there's more info here. But okay, before I get into the next article, which is somewhat related, the one thing that I'm wondering is today, let's not talk about this Clover, but what phones are worth $200 right now? Are there phones out there for sub $200 or right at the $200 price point that are worth purchasing? Because at a phone this price for $200, I think what are the first phones that come to mind here are Android Go phones, Android One phones, like the lower end Nokias. Are those around $200? Or is this going to be something that's actually worthwhile at a $200 price point? So I want to talk about the Snapdragon 460. I don't know anything about the 460 chipset at all, but as I was doing some digging today, I found this article, and this is back in January. So earlier this year, there was an article about this Snapdragon 460. So I wanted to put these two together because I felt they are pretty relevant, especially for what's happening now with this OnePlus Clover. So this article from Android Authority says the Snap 460 could be a game changer for budget phones. So here's the 460 itself, all the specs with it. I'm not going to really dig too deep into this, but I want to see what this 460 is about. So Qualcomm announced 3 new chipsets today offering Wi-Fi 6, and by today, I mean January. So this is an older article. These processors are the Snap 720G, Snap 662, and the Snap 460. So when I first heard about this Clover at $200, I assumed it was going to be the Snap 662, but I guess that's too expensive for a $400 price point. The former 2 chips are par for the course, being variations of the Snap 730G and Snap 665 respectively, but it's the latter processor that looks poised to shake up the industry, which is this Snap 460. So it's the first time that Qualcomm has brought so-called performance cores to the 400 series using 4 Cortex A73 cores in concert with 4 efficient Cortex A53 cores. A lot of jargon here, but so this Snap 460 that they're planning to put in this OnePlus Clover looks like it's an updated version, or like a Frankenstein of a chipset from the 730G that has some of this, some of that, but maybe not the top end. The top end of what the 730G is, if you want to call the 730G a top end. The 730G chipset is the chipset that I have in my Pixel 4a. So I can at least attest to some performance coming out of it. But we'll talk about that as we continue on. So this is a big deal because the Snap 400 series is meant for lower mid-range devices and below. This chipset family can usually be found in sub $200 phones, such as the Moto G6, the Nokia 4.2, the Redmi 8 and 8A, the Vivo Y, Huawei Y series, Realme C1, and Alcatel 3. By introducing more powerful, albeit older CPU cores to the Snap 400 family, the Snap 460 is opening the door for sub $200 phones to make massive performance gains. Whether you're navigating through system menus, loading apps, browsing the web, or using the camera, you can expect a big difference in theory. In fact, Qualcomm claimed a 70% increase over the Snap 450, which is equipped with 8 weaker Cortex-A53 cores like many other 400 series processors. Is there anyone here in chat that has owned any of the phones that I just listed running the Snapdragon 450? Something lower than this 460 that's supposedly coming out that supposedly has a 70% increase? Because I'm just wondering how a phone like this is even going to compare to just everyday performance, to something that is as simple as tweeting, checking Instagram, watching a YouTube video, sending a text message, shooting a photo on the camera. The 460 also offers the higher-end Snap 665's Adreno 610 GPU, which should result in a claimed performance boost of 60% compared to previous 400 series hardware. This means budget-conscious mobile gamers can expect a much more smoother experience and support for more advanced titles and emulators. So those looking for a smoother PUBG experience or hoping to play less demanding games in Dolphin are in for a treat. The new processor also offers an 11-nanometer manufacturing process, which is a minor improvement over the 12. It's unclear if Qualcomm's arch rival MediaTek has an answer, blah, blah, blah. The only real downside to the 460 is that it's only expected in phones by the end of the year, which is true because we're heading into September. This article was written in January, and now this Snapdragon 460 looks like it's starting to make some moves, or at least getting some attention because of this OnePlus Clover that's supposedly going to be $200. So you might want to hold off on upgrading from your cheap Redmi, Realme, Galaxy J, or Huawei Y series phone for now, because we're in for a big leap, but a long wait. Well, that long wait isn't too long anymore for anyone that's just realizing this, but I guess my question to you is, would any of you buy this phone? Would any of you be interested in a OnePlus Clover for $200? I guess the question here is to think about whether or not a $200 phone makes sense, or is it worth saving your money to buy something like a $350 Pixel 4a. That's very oily. God, that looks gross. And I mean, yes, there's going to be a group of people who don't need a there's going to be a group of people that don't need a $350 phone. When I think of people who use $200 phones, I'm thinking of people who just need something. Well, I guess for one, I think about people who probably don't use their phone as much. They're probably just using their phone for a phone, maybe to make calls, maybe to snap a picture here and there, and maybe to check something on the internet real quick. And that's about it. I don't know who else would use a $200 phone that is a heavier user, unless you just don't have the money, unless you're just a lot more budget conscious and you just don't want to spend anything more than $200. There is another side to this that I want to talk about, though, because we talk about the OnePlus Clover at $200. We talk about the OnePlus 8 at, what is the OnePlus 8 now? $700. But there's nothing right now in the middle. The OnePlus Nord is in the middle, but the OnePlus Nord is not selling in the States. So I know there's a gap to fill, and I know OnePlus is going to fill that gap, because at this point, it looks like OnePlus wants to take a huge market here. They want to go from entry-level $200 phones to $700 to $900 flagship phones, and then everything in the middle. So this is hard for me to talk about because I don't get excited about these phones. I don't. Yes, it makes my ears perk up because it's like OnePlus. OnePlus wants to make a phone here. And I guess I'm just wondering how good of a phone. I'm wondering how good a $200 phone is going to be from OnePlus with the Snapdragon 460. And I guess I'm still wondering about this 6,000 milliamp hour battery. With a Snap 460 and 6,000 milliamp hours, you're going to get incredible battery life from that phone for sure. Especially for people who end up using this $200 phone who are not heavy phone users in the first place. They're probably going to get incredible battery life coming from this phone. Camera's probably going to be nothing special. I don't really know what else to say. It's going to be your very basic phone. I just don't know if... I guess I'd have to buy the phone to see if I could actually recommend it as an entry-level phone and see if it's worth it, or save your money and maybe wait for the Pixel 4a to drop in price. Or, I mean, okay, let's even talk about this. Is this Snapdragon 460 better than what the Pixel 3a is right now? Because what can you get the Pixel 3a at? Can you buy the Pixel 3a right now for $300, $280 or something? Would the Pixel 3a be a better buy than this OnePlus Clover? Or maybe it's because it has a 6,000 milliamp hour battery and it's for people who want a really good battery, and then that's the driving point there. I don't know. I'm trying to find, I know that a phone like this has a place in the market. I know it does. I know there are people who are looking for a cheap phone, and maybe they just broke their $800 phone and they can't afford even $300 anymore. And they need something like $200 that's just going to like get them by for the next year. Then yeah, maybe this is going to be it. I like the fact that it's going to be a OnePlus phone that's probably going to have a very clean Android experience. So for people who are looking for something like that, that don't want a lot of bloatware, I'm sure a phone like the OnePlus Clover is going to do it for them. You know what though? Let me get into chat here because I don't know much about this segment, and I'm sure you guys have a couple thoughts on it as well. So let me dig in here and see what you guys have to say. So Hamed says, not sure how a $200 OnePlus phone will do against the likes of the Moto G. That's a good point. I don't know how good the Moto Gs are right now. And what is the cheapest Moto G at this point? $200? Can you get a Moto G for 200? Which are the ones that are $200? Hamed also says that better be a Diet Coke. It's a Coke Zero. So it's zero sugar. See? I'm alive. Team Verizon says OnePlus trying to play that Xiaomi game. I mean, yeah. I mean, they're really just trying to grab the market from all places. Six says, don't forget about the huge battery. Yeah, 6,000 milliamp hours, definitely huge battery. Brian says, so they can gouge us for more money for storage. Yeah, that's true. That's why they're not giving us a micro SD slot for flagship phones. I think that's probably why they do it, because they think, well, they'll buy the 128 gig version and then they're just going to put expandable storage in it. So why would they buy the 256 or the 512? Hamed says, isn't that chip used to power smartwatches? I have no idea. Is it? I have no idea. RJ Tech, am I saying that right? RJ Tech, hey, what's going on? RJ, let me know if I'm pronouncing that right. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you, man. Six says, and the Ultra S20 has a 5,000. LOL, I just don't get it. I don't either. What other phone right now has 6,000 milliamp hours? Is there a phone that has a battery that huge? Am I missing something here? Or is there something even bigger than 6,000 milliamp hours? I'm sure there are. I just don't know them off the top of my head. Hamed says this phone would last a week between charges. It's a huge battery for sure. Yeah, Team Verizon says I'm currently using a Redmi with 5,000 milliamp hours and a Snapdragon 430, and yes, it lasts a week. Alter Tech is in here as well. Welcome, man. It's been a minute. Nice to see you. This looks like a rival to the Moto G Power series. There you go. What does a Moto G Power have on it right now in terms of battery life? Is it around 6,000 milliamp hours? Is it something more? All right. Team Verizon says Nokia 7.2 for 189 is kind of good. I don't know anything about these cheaper phones. I feel like I should, but I just don't know if I'm going to be happy using one of those phones. Six says blue phones I think are around 200 or are around the $200 price point if they even exist anymore. I think blue phones still exist, don't they? I think you can get them at Target, I think. Team Verizon says Android Go phones usually slot between 70 and 99 bucks. I didn't know they were. Yeah, that's right. They're super cheap. Those are like ultra budget. Alan Stevenson is in here. Sup? Happy Friday. Alan, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Big House is in here as well. Hey, Jerome. Hello, stream. Big House, how's it going, man? Welcome. All right. Big House says, yes, Jerome, I had the Moto G6 with the 450. So let me ask you, Big House, how good was that phone, or how good is that phone? Is it still good today? How old is that Moto G6? Is that a year old? Year and a half? Something like that? I mean, I'm guessing you can do everyday things with it. So if anything, with this 450, this 460 is supposed to be 70% better in terms of performance. So maybe they're onto something with this $200 phone. Jason Lim says, sell you $1,000 phone that runs fast but low storage to make you buy more expandable storage model. Sell you a cheap budget phone that lags but with micro SD slot to make you download and store contents that can't run smooth. I like that, Jason. I like that. Jason, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you, man. All right, let me scroll down here. Ryu is in here. Ryu, Eugene, how's it going, man? That and the budget sector. Alan says, yes, my parents. LOL, call, text, camera, nothing more. I feel you on that. I think a lot of my aunts and my uncles, they're the same way. Pretty much the same kind of usage for a phone like this. Okay, Hamad says, guys, like the video. Thank you, Hamad. Yeah, if you're just coming in here and you have a second, please hit that thumbs up button. There's my thumb. And if you haven't hit that thumbs up button, hit the thumbs up button. I don't know why I've been saying that lately, but guys, thank you. Thank you so much for coming in, joining the stream. I see a super chat here from Grant S with the super chat, with the $10 super chat. Grant, thank you, man. Thank you for the support. What up? Hashtag Phone Jerome fam, checking in on the hardest working tech streamer. It's been a minute. Grant, thank you for that. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love, man. Thank you, man. It means a lot to me. Also saying the hardest working tech streamer. Thank you, man. Thank you for the support. As always, nice to see you in here. Grant, I hope you're doing well. If you guys don't know Grant is a very, very, he's also a tech YouTuber. I think he streamed from time to time, but Grant is always putting in work as well. If you guys haven't had a chance, feel free to check him out, show him some love. Grant's always helping me out, pick stuff up too. And I know he's a busy guy as well. So Grant, thank you, man. Thank you for the support. Thank you for coming in and dropping by and showing some love, man. So, all right, guys, let me scroll back up here. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Ryu says some people can't afford quote unquote mid-rangers. That's very true. Some people might not have $350 or $400 to spend on a phone, and hitting the $200 price point, it's another sector to reach. It's another group of people to either get into the ecosystem. Because imagine this $200 phone appealing to people who have never had a OnePlus phone before. So they buy this $200 phone and they're like, hey, like it runs pretty well. Like it looks pretty clean. There's not a lot of bloatware on it. I don't know if this is how budget, like conscious people who don't really use phones much think, but they might. And if it does well enough for them for a year or so, or 2 years, then they might buy another OnePlus. They'll be like, hey, the first one I had that lasted me a year and a half or however long did me well. I'll buy the next version of this, whatever this OnePlus Clover is or whatever they end up calling it. So, yeah, it's a smart strategy, I would assume, from OnePlus to do this. I just want to see OnePlus try to fill the $400 segment. Yes, there's a OnePlus Nord, but that is not here in the States. So I'm waiting for them to really put in, their competition when it comes to the Pixel 4a. And whatever that is, or whatever that's going to be, who knows? But I'm waiting for that. That is something that would excite me more than this Clover. But like, still, I think there is a place for it. And, you know, I enjoy seeing them put something out and seeing where it's going to go. Team Verizon says, Jerome, for the price of the Clover, the Nokia 7.2 has a Snapdragon 660. Then you have the Redmi phone. So didn't you say the Nokia 7.2 is $189? So, see, I'm just wondering what price. I'm wondering what price this Snapdragon 460 really has in its price range, or what am I trying to say? I just don't know what the Snapdragon 460 chipset is really worth. Team Verizon says, to be honest, I like the concept. I've always bought budget phones. Yeah, and I see that. Big House seems to be one of those people as well. And I've always wanted to dive into the cheaper market. I just don't want to dive into that market where I don't enjoy the experience, right? And the Pixel 4a has really, honestly, in a lot of ways, has changed my mind about the mid-range market, the $400 price point, the $350 price point for this phone. Yes, it's not the fastest phone in the world. I've said this yesterday. I've said it for a couple days now, but it still performs pretty well. Yes, it's a bit slow when I use apps like TaskRabbit, when I use apps like Amazon. I won't call it lag. I'll call it slowness. From selecting something to opening things up, it is a little slower in that department. But for the most part, it's not something that has been like really annoying me. It is still kind of early though, and it might get to that point. But so far, I've been pretty happy with what the Pixel 4a has given me at that price point. Hamed says some Moto Gs go for less than $200 on Amazon. There you go. Six says there's an Energizer phone that has is that 100,000 or 10,000? Oh, 10,000. All right. Yeah, there you go. That's right. I remember reading about that Energizer phone, 10,000 milliamp hour battery. Of course, of all the companies that's going to put a big ass battery in a phone, it's going to be a company like Energizer making a smartphone. Well, Hamid says, I think 6,000 milliamp hours is that limit. 5,000 milliamp hours is in the Moto G8 Power. Thank you guys for sharing that. Team Verizon says, I actually ordered a budget Xperia L4. Pretty interested to see how it performs given the sub 200 price. So Team Verizon, let me ask you, when you buy these budget phones, you're not buying these budget phones out of necessity, right? Because I assume you have a number of other phones. Do you buy these sub $200 phones just to see what $200 is capable of? I'm just wondering what the mindset is when you buy a phone like this. Because for me, when I buy a phone for $400 or $350, right? Or I buy a phone for $1,300, I usually am buying the phone for its camera. I want to see, I like to compare the camera and its price point. I think for me, that's a good way of testing out what's worth the money in terms of a camera. I'm just wondering, when you buy a phone like this for $200, what is it that you're really looking for in those kind of phones? I'm just like, I'm genuinely curious where your mind is when you buy a phone like that. Jason says the 18,000 milliamp hour Energizer phone battery, or the 18,000 milliamp hour Energizer phone battery monster. 18,000 milliamp hour, 18,000 milliamp hours is, I wonder how big of a phone that is. That's crazy. Big House says the Moto G6 came out in 2018. It's a basic chip 450, great for Facebook, Twitter. So yeah, just your simple type of functionality on a phone. I gotcha. Jonathan Rivera. Hey, Jonathan, welcome to the stream, man. Blue just released a rebranded Redmi Note 8 Pro for $200. There you go. I don't even know what specs those are on the Note 8 Pro. I don't keep up. I have a hard time keeping up with all of these other like cheaper phones that I really don't know much about. Brian says, I guess it's an underclocked 730G with a Snap 660 GPU, or the Adreno 660. That's good. That's actually a good way of putting it. Yeah, an underclocked 730. I like that. Since that's where it's coming from. So Long says, I had a track phone that's more than budget. Salonk, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Oh, Hamid says that Energizer phone did not make it into production. I guess just trying to show off some specs, maybe, I'm guessing. Alcatel? Or is this something different? K13 Pro has a 11,000 milliamp hour battery. Thank you for sharing. So here's the thing. I'm looking forward to seeing what OnePlus can come up with. I'm looking forward to seeing how OnePlus is going to be able to showcase a $200 phone. That's what I'm waiting for. What is the build material going to be like? What is that quality going to be like? Because if they put that in a $200 phone, we can kind of expect maybe some of these shortcomings or methods of producing a lower end phone and seeing some of those get applied to whatever OnePlus decides for their $400 or $500 phone. It might be a good way to see what those phones are going to end up, to see what kind of specs in that phone are going to end up on a $400 or $500 phone. Team Verizon says, lately I've been buying them for content and reviews. Oh, well, there you go. Sometimes for the simple experience. It's a weird thing. I don't think it's weird. I mean, I feel you, right? Like I buy a lot of phones for the camera experience, but it's also content. Although I haven't been putting out content like I should be for that kind of stuff. But yeah, I hear you, man. That makes a lot of sense. So I think that's really it when it comes to the Clover. I'm sure more of this is going to come out in the future. How good this phone is going to be, I guess we'll see. That's the real question is, where it's going to go, and is it going to be competitive? Are we going to get more competitive phones in that $200 price point? If the Moto G phone is like the king of $200 phones, I'm not saying it is the king. When I think of a phone at that price point, I think the only quality phone I've really thought about is Moto. Although I know there are Redmi phones and this and that. I just don't know much about them. But yeah, OnePlus is putting their hat in the ring. Is that what the word is? They're putting their hat in they're throwing their hat. They're throwing their hat in the ring. That's how you say it. But yeah. And we'll see what OnePlus can come up with. Paul is in here. Paul, what's going on, man? Bought a Moto E6 for €80, $83 as cheap backup for the daily F2 Pro. There you go. It's arriving tomorrow. Let me know how that is. What's a Moto E6? What chipset is in that? Is it a Snapdragon 450? Is it something else? I'm curious. Is it something even less than that? Anyway, Paul, welcome to the stream. Guys, real quick, I will segue into this. If you guys are in here, again, if you haven't had a chance, hit that thumbs up button. Hitting that thumbs up button helps me algorithmically, aka I think it helps people find the stream. So please, if you have a chance, hit that thumbs up button. I also stream weekdays at 2 p.m. Central. So if you haven't had a chance, hit that subscribe button. It's just a way to support. So I do appreciate it. And if you are in the chat, you've noticed people with green in the chat, a red Chicago star next to their name. That's because they are part. Did I not pull up the image here? I didn't. They're part of the Phone Jerome fam, and I don't have an image to show you, so I'll try to get that up real quick. That's what she said. You could be part of this fan. Now the image froze on me. Now this is not how it intended to go. That's okay. All right. We'll just segue. Guys, if you want to be part of the Phone Jerome fam, you can go to youtube.com/Phone Jerome/join. I don't have an image to show you right now because my computer is being very annoying. Now is it going to show up? Nope, it's not. All right. If you can't find that, you can click the blue join button. There you go. Here's the image. There you go. You can join this channel for as little as 99 cents a month. All you got to do is click that join button. You'll get the red Chicago star in your name. You'll get to use custom emoji, and you'll get your name in every single intro and outro to one of my live streams. Again, you can click that. You can click that blue join button, or you can go to youtube.com/Phone Jerome/join. That is it. just wanted to share that. It's a way to support. I know times are tough for people, and I know that even 99 cents a month might be too much. So again, if you guys can like or hit the subscribe button, I do appreciate it. It's a way to support and helps me continue doing what I'm doing. So guys, thank you so much. Either way, appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next story here. I have this story from Xiaomi, and they are now in the game to do an under display camera, a UDC. The first company to, I think, report doing this is, why am I forgetting now? It was in here. Axon, ZTE. ZTE is the first company to work on an under display camera, and it looks like Xiaomi is now ready to do it as well. The third generation of the tech matches the image quality of normal selfie cameras, the company says. Okay. So Xiaomi is saying that their under display camera is going to be matching the image quality of normal selfie cameras. My question is, which selfie camera? Because I can almost guarantee you that their under display camera will not meet the same quality selfie camera as my Pixel 4a. I can almost guarantee you that. Whenever this comes out in 2021, I don't think it'll match that image quality. What image quality they're referring to on their Xiaomi phone, I have no idea, but let's go ahead and let's read this. So Xiaomi teased its under-display phone camera last year, and this week the company said the camera will be available in one of its 2021 phones. The version we'll see or not see, since it's invisible, will be the third iteration of the technology. In the third generation of under-display camera tech, Xiaomi has greatly improved the full screen effect through self-developed pixel arrangement and through the optimization of the camera algorithm, allowing it to show the same performance as conventional front cameras. Those improvements were enough to put the technology into mass production, the company said. However, it seems Xiaomi won't be the first Chinese company to release a phone with this feature. Earlier this month, ZTE said it'll unveil the Axon 25G on September 1st, which is 3 days from now, touting the gadget as the world's first mass-produced 5G smartphone featuring under-display camera. That's it. I'm still not convinced with an under-display camera. Would I love to see them? Yes. I want a phone that doesn't have a notch or a teardrop or a hole punch, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to see any of that. I'd rather have an all-display camera. But instead of an under-display camera, I'd rather have a selfie pop-up cam, because I just don't know if the quality is going to be that good. But we'll wait. We'll see what the ZTE Axon has to offer. What is the Axon called now? Axon 20? Axon 25G. We'll see what the Xiaomi has to offer in terms of that as well. And I'm sure other companies are going to start putting them out. How good that under-display camera is going to be, we won't know. I don't have high hopes for it. And I wouldn't bet your money on that either. Don't be spending your money right now, or don't save your money right now because that's what you want on a phone. I would still wait for that. I would live with a notch for another year or two before this becomes commonplace. If it becomes commonplace, I just don't have high hopes for it at this point. But that's all I got for that. So I don't have a lot of news today. It's kind of a slow news day today, guys, but we will continue on. We're going to talk about Samsung, and it looks like they have accidentally leaked the Galaxy Z Fold 2 price on UK's site days before the official reveal. So it looks like it'll be slightly cheaper than the first gen model, but not by much. So Samsung is all set to fully unveil its latest foldable phone at an Unpacked event on September 1st, which is this Monday. Holy wow. Wait, no, Tuesday. I was going to say this Monday is already September, but this Tuesday will be September. I clicked on the wrong thing. There we go. But there's seemingly very little about the device they'll be able to tell us that we don't already know. Images, videos, and specs have all leaked or been shared one way or another. but we now have potentially definitive information from a very reputable source. Pre-order pages for the Z Fold 2 have been live since yesterday, but we're pretty sure the UK site wasn't supposed to state the price just yet. According to Max Weinberg on Twitter, the page briefly listed the price of £1,800 before it was removed. That's £100 cheaper than the first gen Galaxy Fold cost in the UK, and it's in line with previous info, stating the German price would be 2,000 euro, down from 2,100 euro. We can surely expect a similar price drop in US dollars, which would mean the Z Fold 2 should cost around 1,880 in the United States. Either way, it's still a ton of money. If you're buying a Galaxy Z Fold 2, can I be your friend? Because you can buy me one as well. A fancy Thom Browne edition has also been outed. Thanks to another new leak from Quant, we have additional verification of the specs that previously leaked, courtesy of Max Weinberg. Not to mention, some of it has been shared by Samsung anyway. It'll include a 7.6-inch massive display, 120 hertz inner folding display, the less impressive 6.2-inch 60 hertz outer screen, and the Snap 865 Plus processor powering the whole thing. Check out the full list of specs below. So this Galaxy Z Fold 2 is going to be jam-packed with specs: Snap 865 Plus, 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of internal storage, but no expandable, right? If you want expandable storage, you got to put it in a $200 OnePlus Clover. 7.6-inch display, the inside display, a 6.2-inch outside display, a triple rear camera, 10 megapixel front camera, 4,500 milliamp hour battery. It seems like a small battery for 3 displays. Side mounted fingerprint scanner. That's it. So tune in for the virtual Galaxy Unpacked event at 9 a.m. Eastern on September 1st. A lot of money for a phone. I wouldn't spend $1,900 on a phone like this. I think even if I had money to burn, I don't know if it would be something I'd be spending my money on. I can't see myself doing that. A lot of money for a phone. All right, let me get back into chat here. Paul says it's a Snapdragon 435. Thank you, Paul, for sharing that. Damon says, Damon, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. It says Jerome's ad segments are the best. I love how natural it is. LOL. What's up, guys? Damon, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Okay, Team Verizon says for the Z Fold price, I can buy a Razer Blade Stealth laptop and a bunch of Steam games. Very true. For $2,000, you can buy so much more. I mean, literally, my 3-year-old or 4-year-old, however old, I think it's 4 years old now, PC that I built cost me $2,500, and I think I would rather spend $2,000 right now to upgrade. I really need to start upgrading my PC. I haven't touched it. I haven't upgraded anything on this PC yet. I should do that. But yeah, without much money, you're better off spending your money on something else. I mean, who am I to talk? I spent $1,300 on my Huawei. Big House says, or a bunch of budget smartphones. There you go. And then you have now multiple pieces of content to create, Team Verizon. So yeah, damn right, Team Verizon says. Andrew KPW. Andrew, I haven't seen you in a minute, man. How's it going? How you doing? Hey, Jerome and everyone. Hey, Andrew KPW. It's been a while. How are you? Hopefully you're doing well. Nice to see you in here. And then Brian Lau with the $1 super chat. Brian, as usual, dropping some support, dropping some love. Brian, thank you so much, man, for the support. Thank you for the super chats, guys. Grant, Brian, thank you guys for always showing some support, extra support. Always appreciated. I don't know what else I can say about that. You guys have always been regular supporters. A lot of you guys have. So thank you again. Thank you so much. Brian says, I vote on buying a laptop and some other stuff over the Fold. I agree. Andrew says, been busy, man. Work. I know how that is. Definitely. But it is nice to see you. I appreciate you taking some time to stop by. So thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Okay. I have 2 other stories. They're really not much of anything at this point, just short things here. But I want to go over this article from Android Central that says the best Android phones under $300 in 2020. So when it comes to an article like this, and it comes to buying the best Android phone under $300, my recommendation is to save $50 and buy a Pixel 4a. All right, moving on. That was a joke. That's really what I wanted to do. I really didn't even want to talk about buying a phone under $300 right now. So I was like, oh, that'll be funny to do. And it'll be funny to clip, maybe. We'll see. All right. This other story I have here is from The Verge. And I actually wanted to talk about this because I wanted to get your guys' opinions on this. So this article from The Verge says the best streaming device to buy right now. Getting the most from your 4K HDR TV doesn't cost much. Buying a capable streaming player for your TV is easier and cheaper in 2020. The reason I want to talk about this is because I don't know. Again, I don't know much about streaming devices because I haven't used anything recently. The only thing I have is back here with my TV, and it's my Chromecast Ultra that I've had now for years. Is there a reason? Is there any reason at this point for me to upgrade from my Chromecast Ultra? Is there any reason? Because this TCL TV has Roku in it already. It has a built-in Roku, and I don't like using it. I don't like that I have to use the remote control and I still have to like push to get to certain things, and I can't just type something up on my phone and then push it to the TV. I still think using my phone for Chromecast and pushing to the Chromecast is the quickest and easiest way to do anything, whether it be YouTube TV, Netflix, Hulu, HBO, you name it. I can push it to the TV on my Chromecast Ultra, and I don't know why I would use anything else. So I want to talk about this because I want an opinion if something is quicker and easier or better. If you've got a fairly new 4K TV at home, you might not see the need for a set-top box or a streaming stick. It's probably already got many of your essential apps preloaded and ready to go. If you're satisfied with what's there, no one's forcing you to buy an extra gadget. But app selection can differ between TV brands, so if you want everything under the sun, a streaming player is a great way to fill in those gaps. Another advantage is speed. If you find the apps on your TV sluggish to use, a speedy Roku or Fire TV might help alleviate that frustration. And sometimes companies will end development of an app for older TVs, but you can bet that updates will continue long into the future for the streaming box equivalent. So this article says the best streaming video players in 2020, and the first one here is this Roku Streaming Stick Plus, the Roku Premier. Is that what it's called? Or is it called the Roku Streaming Stick Plus? Oh, they're two different ones. Okay, so do any of you use this one? Do any of you use this Roku Streaming Stick Plus or Roku Premier? I have never used any of these. Again, real quick, this TV uses a Roku. It has a Roku, built into it. Do you know what I did with the Roku streaming service that's on here? I turned it off. I disabled it. So now it's only the Chromecast. I don't like it. I don't like using the remote to pick the alphabet to spell out what I need to find on YouTube. If I want to find a video on the TV and share it and be like, hey, look, I want you to watch this video from Eric the Electric, who's he does food videos. I don't want to go on my Roku streaming device and then type in ERI, I just want to find it on my phone. Here's the video. Here's the exact video I'm looking for, and then push it to the TV. I don't know why I would need something else. The only reason I would want something is to share stuff, right? To actually have the TV show the different videos that are up there. I wouldn't mind that. If my phone could show what I'm about to push and be like, hey, here are the videos I'm looking at. Which one should we play? I would like that. But I want something that'll do that on like a phone or something. I don't want to have to use a remote control and pick letter by letter to show you what's on there. I know I'm kind of like talking a lot about that, but I'm saying that because I really don't know what's a better choice than what I have right now. So Roku is the best streaming player for people who want a no-nonsense device with a simple interface and far-reaching universal search across many different entertainment services. Roku's Keep It Simple home screen, though not flashy, is fully customizable and lets you put the streaming apps you use most right at the top for quick access. So like I think I noticed that it has that on my Roku, but I still think I can do it faster on my phone. I still don't know how this Roku is faster. Thanks to the bundled long-range wireless receiver, the Streaming Stick Plus has better Wi-Fi performance than the majority of Roku's lineup, which can prove useful if your TV and router are far apart. It comes with a voice remote, whereas the Premier only includes Roku's basic remote without voice search. So the TV I have does not have voice search, so maybe that would be faster. I still think it's faster to just pick what you want on your phone. Otherwise, the Stick Plus and Premiere are basically identical. They both give you 4K HDR picture. And then if you look at these other scores here, they talk about the Roku Premiere. They talk about the Apple TV 4K, which I think is super expensive, I think. Yeah, 180. The Amazon Fire TV Cube. I don't know anything about these either. $120. And then the Fire TV Stick 4K, which is, I don't know how much this is, $50. And then the NVIDIA Shield TV, which I know some of you have recommended to me. I just want to know if I'm able to get, are any of these going to be faster than what I have now? I think that's really the question that I have. Let me get into chat here. Big House with a $5 super chat. Big House, thank you so much, man. Got to head to work. Got to head back to work. So showing support, I'll be watching. Big House Productions, thank you, man. Thank you for that regular support as always, guys. Always appreciate this kind of support. Really, it does mean a lot to me. I've said it many times. It helps offset my costs. It helps encourage me to do what I'm doing daily, weekdays, whatever. Guys, I appreciate it. So Big House, thank you again so much. You guys really have been supporting regularly, and I cannot thank you guys enough. So thank you. All right, let me get into what we're talking about here. So Mauricio says, I have the Shield TV 2015, and yesterday it got a new update. That's nice. 5-year update. That's awesome. Team Verizon says, my wife and I got the Fire Stick 4K earlier this year, and so far it's gotten a lot of use. So with your Fire Stick TV or whatever, the Fire Stick, do you use the remote that it came with? Can you use your phone to push anything, or do you just use the Fire Stick in general and then you navigate using the up and down and navigate using like also the up and down to pick letters, to pick stuff off the keyboard? Do you see where I'm coming from? Do you see how that might be, at least for me, who's used to pushing stuff to the TV through the display on my phone, to just type it out with my phone, why that's easier than using another device? Mauricio says 25th update after 5 years. That's awesome. NVIDIA is very serious company in update support. That's great. I love hearing that. That makes me want to at least take some time and look into it. Also, we never had a smart TV, so the entire experience is groovy. There you go. Jason says, yep, NVIDIA Shield TV from 2015 is still supported. That's awesome. Team Verizon says, Jerome, off topic, but will we see discussion on the new Fitbit stuff next week? What am I missing when it comes to Fitbit? Did they release a new watch, right? I'll look into it. Especially if it's interesting enough. And if there's some talk there about Google's integration or what Google's been doing to try to get them to get into it. Yeah, I would love to cover some stuff like that. Jason says, if not gaming, you can get the cheaper Mi Box S. The newer Mi Mix Stick is only 1080p. I'll take a look though. But you guys have been supporting, or you guys have been talking a lot about the NVIDIA Shield TV, right? Is it this one right here? Is it this NVIDIA Shield TV, or is this the 20? So there's a 2019 version and then there's a 2015 version as well. So I'm able to play games with the NVIDIA Shield TV. Is that what you guys are saying? Oh, here we go. Mauricio says the 2019 version of NVIDIA Shield TV has AI upscaling to 4K, 60 frames per second, and SDR to HDR. Thank you. So okay. One more time. The question I have for my Chromecast Ultra, am I correct in assuming that using that is the fastest way to push content to the TV? If I have a YouTube video I want to play, is it quicker to just use my Chromecast Ultra to find the video on YouTube and then push it? Or is there a faster experience than that? Because if the fastest experience is using my Chromecast, I'll stick with my Chromecast. But if there's another reason to look at the NVIDIA Shield, I'll definitely take a look. I think that's what I'm curious about. I mean, I do want to have something where I can share something on the screen. If like people were over and people were like, hey, what do you want to watch? And then I can have it on the TV, then yeah, that might be better. And if the NVIDIA Shield TV can do that and I can maybe play games or something or do something different, I definitely take a look and do that as well. Team Rice says, yeah, we use the remote. Well, thank you. Okay, good to know. Fear the Roof 42, welcome. Hola, Jerome, Fitbit Sense. Is that what you guys wanted to talk about? Should I look that up right now? Fitbit Sense. The new Fitbit Sense. I don't know anything about this watch. You guys want to talk about this Fitbit Sense? I have a little time here. So the Fitbit Sense is the advanced health smartwatch that helps you tune into your body with tools for stress management, health, heart health, SpO2. Is this the oxygen, whatever thing? Skin temperature, and more. $330. So what is it about this? Can I watch this video? Do I have to turn off audio for you guys? I might. Okay, so that's muted for you guys. So this is a new era of innovation, advanced health on Fitbit Sense. It looks nice. I mean, the display looks really nice. Every piece has a purpose. It's a nice display built with a biosensor core. Wow, the music's too loud. You can tune into your body, EDA sensor and stress management technology to track your stress. How does it track stress? Heart rate notifications. My Apple Watch does that. Wait, that's how, ECG app to monitor your heart. To see possible changes in your fitness and wellness. Oh, that's what SpO2 is. Okay, I got it. To help track illness, sleep tracking, and then voice assistant. It looks nice. Actually, that strap looks nice. So is this using, this isn't using any kind of like Android Wear software, right? This is its own OS still. Is that what this Fitbit Sense is doing? Can I see the comments here and see how people either trashed it or not trashed the thing here? Let's be honest, the stress sensor is going to be alerting us constantly at this point. Let's just be honest. This is the Versa 3. Is that true? I've never used an Apple and Fitbit watch because it's too expensive and the watch is not worth it. I'm happy with my Mi Band 5. I'm very excited, been a proud Fitbit user. It's nothing new that we haven't seen before. What's the difference between this and the Versa 2? So yeah, I don't know much about this watch. It does look nice. It looks kind of similar to what I use on my Apple Watch, but like if you've noticed, I haven't used my Apple Watch in like, I don't know, it's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I just haven't, I prefer having I don't know. I just wanted to change up the style, I guess. It does look nice. I'm curious to what else it has or how it separates itself from the competition. Like if I were to ask you right now, what makes this watch better than the Apple Watch? Could you guys give me a couple like pros to how this beats the Apple Watch? Just curious. Okay, let me get into chat here. The Sense is quite expensive. Yeah, 300 something. Still Fitbit OS. Damon says Google doesn't own Fitbit yet. Okay, they don't? I thought they did. I didn't know that. All right. Jason says if it's just fast sharing photos or songs, use the phone to Chromecast. If guests or viewing full movies, suggest use Android TV. Thank you, Jason. So yeah, I might get one just for that, just to see. Just to have something that's like, I'm not on my phone and I'm not being rude if I have a guest over or whatever, or people are coming by to hang out whenever those days are going to happen. But yeah, that's good to know. So I'll have to look into that. Would you recommend the NVIDIA Shield TV then, the 2019? I'll look into it. I think that's it. We didn't really talk about the Pixel much today. I had a few thoughts on the Pixel, but like I didn't really get into it. So that's like a first in a while. It's been a while since I've talked about it's been a while since I have not talked about the Pixel 4a. I want to talk about the Pixel 4a. Like I'm sitting here thinking, what can I talk about when it comes to the Pixel 4a or the Pixel 4a 5G or the Pixel 5? But maybe we'll save that for Monday because we are now past the hour here. It is Friday, and I'm sure all of you guys, I'm guessing you guys have other things to do as well. But let me get into chat before I kind of close this off. There are two Shields per model, a Pro model and the new cylindrical model is cheaper. The Shield TV also works as a game console. That's great. Actually, Mauricio, am I able, if I get one, can I hide one behind my TV here so I don't have to like, have one down here? I'm going to get a media center. I actually have one on order. It just hasn't arrived yet. But I'll look into it. To search for something, I use the voice command. And I won't say that because I don't want people's things to go off, and it works really well. But being expensive is the only quote downside, but you get something good for what you pay. I'll definitely have to check it out. Jason says, yes, not the 2-1, get the flat model. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you for the advice. Thank you for sharing the suggestions on that. So I will take a look at that. But guys, that is it for today. I know today was kind of a slower news day, but I hope it was still entertaining, at least a little bit, kind of, sort of. Guys, I want to thank you all the time for coming by, stopping in, saying hello. We have a lot of regulars now, and I love it. I love to see you guys talk in here, be part of the community, share your tech knowledge, share it with me, and me sharing mine as well. I want you guys to come back on Monday, 2 p.m. Central. We'll do it all over again. Hopefully we'll have more and entertaining tech news to talk about. But with that being said, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you do something fun and exciting. I will give you my recap of how my weekend was, aka I will probably be working the entire weekend, so it won't be anything special. But I will see you guys again Monday. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Here comes the music, waving by. See you Monday, guys. Have a good one. Take it easy.